Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Runnah. I'm Juliana, and this week I have a very special episode for you. Kind of a little bonus, a little spicy bonus, shall we say. I was able to be a guest on the TV Trivia podcast, and I had such a fun time that I thought I would share this as just like a little midweek kind of like joyful, fun little thing in the middle of all the chaos that is the world right now. So sit back and relax as I take on some Bugs Life, the Pixar movie, The Bugs Life, which I forgot. This movie like fucking slaps, man. Like what a great movie this is. I completely forgot. One, how many memes came out of this movie? And two, how much I really liked this movie. So definitely strap in and strap on because we are going to be doing some Bugs Life trivia, and you can see and learn and listen to how many trivia questions I got right and how many I got wrong. Tally up in your head. What percentage do you think I got right? My guess before we started this was I was going to get like 5% of the questions correctly. See if I lived up to my standards or not, my friends. But we have all the regularly scheduled Runnah also coming at you this week, but this is just a little bonus thrown into the mix so that way you have something even more just like light, positive, not heavy, not political, just to listen to amongst all the chaos that is the world. So head on over into the episode, and I'll see you soon. And I love you very much. Enjoy.
It's the Trivia Podcast where I ask you questions about stuff you might not even know, but you just might if you watch TV shows and movies. Hello and welcome to the TV and Movie Trivia Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Sheehan, and in this episode, I'll be asking questions from A Bug's Life. Our guest today is Juliana from the podcast Into the Fold and Runnah. Juliana, thank you for being here.
I'm more than excited to be here. As you know, Brian, this is a long overdue thing, and so it's time for us to answer some trivia questions.
This is long overdue. You had, I think, reached out to me before, right as I was bringing mine to like an end, or at least a pretty much hiatus there, getting ready to move and change new jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just started having guests back this year. I think this is only the second or third episode I've had a guest back, and it's been so much fun, and I'm so glad that I was able to get you now. So for this round of trivia.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here and excited to hopefully answer some trivia questions correctly. I just rewatched it last night, and I watched some refreshers this morning, but we'll see what I can do.
You did a little more this morning too.
I was just watching some like quick like recap videos so I could remind myself what had happened.
Okay. This isn't too serious of a show, but I do appreciate that. How long had it been since you've seen A Bug's Life before this?
Probably at least like 15 years, I would imagine. It's been a while. I did forget, like, because this is a movie that I definitely saw on VHS as a kid. I don't think I had gone to a movie theater at this point when this movie had come out. Because this was what? Do you know what year this came out? This might be a trivia question.
No. Trivia questions will be solely what happened in the movie here.
Okay.
I feel like Toy Story was maybe 95, so maybe this was 96 or 97?
97. Yeah, that was one of my guess. I was going to say somewhere between 95 and 2000. So I don't think I had physically been to like an actual movie theater yet as a kid, but I definitely had this VHS at home after it came out. I distinctly remember that like VHS cover with like the little gold thing on the edge on the side, and you had Flick's face in the little like circle that was on the edge of on the spine of the VHS cover. And I very vividly remember the cover of the VHS. So like we definitely had it, and I definitely watched this movie a ton when I was like a kid, but that had to be at least 15 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way it's been rewatching almost all these Pixar movies. I can't, especially these first couple, it's been a really long time. I think of all of them, I've probably seen The Incredibles the most. I think that just has a soft spot for me. I am a sucker for the Incredibles, but rewatching some of these, I just finished writing trivia for WALL-E and Up, and I couldn't believe how good WALL-E was. And I knew, everyone knows the beginning of Up. And I think that's part of the reason I remember seeing that in like theaters. I was like, people were like, you're crying in the first 10 minutes. I was like, doubt it. And it happened. But this time I don't know if it's because I'm like older or something. I was sobbing during that beginning. Sad. It wrecked me.
There's a certain part in I think almost every single Pixar movie that I've seen, like from Toy Story all the way up until the recent ones that I've seen. I don't think I've seen all the recent ones.
I haven't, for sure.
Oh gosh, what's the name with the guy? It's Upwards, I think is the name.
Onwards?
Of the movie. Onward. Yeah, that one. I saw that one. That one didn't hit quite as hard. But Soul and definitely like, what the heck is it? The one with Riley, Inside Out. Those ones like slapped really hard. I think the one I've cried the most at, honestly, is Coco. Because the I used to work in elderly care, and the grandma at the end, when she realizes that her husband's going to be remembered, like I've like fully just like puddle of tears, absolute puddle of tears. Like that one got me really hard.
Pixar does it so well. I just watched Soul for the first time like 2 nights ago, and
oh my God, I love Soul.
Really good. Really, it threw me for a loop. I thought the whole thing was going to be him getting back to his body. I was not expecting him to come back to Earth so soon, but also in the form of a cat. And I was like, that part I did not see coming at all. That was a lot of fun. And of course, the jazz. I love jazz music. But
I use the word jazzing all the time since I saw that movie. Like, I'm like, yeah, it's like when you're in your element, you're jazzing, you know?
It makes sense.
I don't know. It's from that movie. I really enjoyed it. I remember I was watching that movie while I was doing a long run one day on the treadmill, and I like had to stop the treadmill because I was crying so hard when I was watching this. Like, I can cry and run to a certain extent, but like it was too much. I had to stop. I was like, I need like 5 minutes to just like bawl my eyes out, and then I think I'm going to be okay.
2 follow-ups: treadmill in your house or at a gym?
At my house, luckily.
Okay, all right.
Not at the gym. There was no other concerned people. It was just me.
And how often do you find yourself crying and running at the same time?
It depends on how the month is going, you know. If it's a Pixar movie, like 100% of the time, if that's what I'm watching when I'm running. Okay. So that has like a 10 out of 10 rating for usually getting me to cry.
Yeah. Well, before we get started with the Bug's Life trivia, do you have a favorite moment or part of Bug's Life?
I think my favorite, so I said I was going to do a character because like I didn't realize like how many memes there are from this movie and like one-liners that like slap really hard.
Sure.
But I think my favorite character, just because it made me laugh the most, was the caterpillar whose name is escaping me.
Same.
I love the caterpillar. Like, this is me as a bug.
This is me as a bug.
Yeah, just being like, woo, 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 woo. And like he gets his little wings at the end. He's like, I'm a butterfly. I'm like, yes, that's me. With the little tiny wings. I'm flying. I'm like, yeah,
You said you were going to mention a favorite character, and my mind immediately went to the caterpillar. So
I love the caterpillar.
He was so fun. Definitely the most fun for sure.
Yeah. He's like the standout of all the circus bugs for sure. And just like, I remember when this movie came out, all of like the merch that came out around it. Cause this was the time when like you had a movie and it had so much merch, and like a McDonald's Happy Meal toy would come out around it. Yeah. I had like all the McDonald's Happy Meal toys that were like went with this movie.
Sure.
I remember specifically having the one of the caterpillar, and it was like one that you like pulled and it like kind of wiggled or something because the wheels would make it do that when you like pulled it along the ground. I think they all like locked into each other and made like a little train if you got like all of them, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm gonna have to look this up later, but there was a lot of merchandise around this movie and a lot of just stuff that you could acquire. But that was kind of what it was that back then, though, too. Like Toy Story was kind of the same way. Anytime a movie came out, like there was a McDonald's Happy Meal toy. There was like so many action figures you could get, like all these other like plush toys, things like that. I remember I definitely had a Queen Ada like stuffed animal at some point, just because someone had like gifted it to me. Like I was never a super fan of this movie, but again, it was just so pervasive that you just like ended up with merchandise from whatever the popular movie was as a kid.
Sure. And as a kid, I can only remember the Pixar ones at this point.
Yeah, I was never a DreamWorks gal growing up, really. Like, obviously Shrek, Shrek was a cultural pivot point for any millennial for the most part. And also the world, generally speaking, which is wild.
True. Yeah.
But I was much more into and I still kind of retain that, into more of the Disney stuff than like the DreamWorks side of things.
Sure. I will say there are a couple DreamWorks ones that I think are just phenomenal too. I'll always have a soft spot for Kung Fu Panda. And there's a couple others in there. I did trivia on this like a year or two ago too. And they have some good bangers, but we'll talk about A Bug's Life now though, and get ready for some trivia. But before we get started, to my current listeners out there, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you rate and subscribe and get some friends to do the same. And with that, we're ready for some A Bug's Life trivia. Juliana, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right, let's do it here, starting with the easy round with question number 1. Flick isn't gathering seeds the conventional way in the beginning, but doing what? Question number 2. Flick says one reason the ants need his invention to harvest grain is because they never have time to gather food for themselves after what? Question number 3. Flick's grand plan to get rid of Hopper and the grasshoppers is to build what? Question number 4. What do the bugs use to make the outside of that contraption? Question number 5. Hopper tells the other grasshoppers that they need to go back to the ant colony, using pieces of grain to demonstrate how throwing one piece at a time at them doesn't hurt. But then he does what? Question number 6. Flea ruins the contraption and the plan to scare away the grasshoppers when he does what? Question number 7. Hopper meets his end when what happens? And question number 8. Which member of the circus almost gets left behind when they fly away at the end, and for what reason? Going back to question number 1. Flick isn't gathering seeds the conventional way in the beginning, but doing what?
He has like a cutting machine almost that he's using to cut down the stalks, and then he's shaking it with his machine, getting the grain, and the stalk is getting like pushed through, and then it's getting put into like this little like carrier of grains in the back, his little bucket.
Yeah, whatever his stalk machine was. This time I looked a little closer to see what was powering it. I couldn't figure it out, but
I think there's a wheel that's going, but I don't know exactly what was powering it, because the wheel keeps going like into the next scene. And my only thoughts during that were like, he's going to get cut by the wheel. Like, he needs to stop that thing, which obviously the Pixar people aren't going to, like, unless it's for comedic effect, they're not going to go out of their way to do that extra animation. But
yeah, sure.
In my head, I was like, oh no, he's going to like lean backwards and get cut on his little wheel because it's still going. But he did not. So everything was fine in that respect.
We're going to talk about some of those other scenes that I can't believe Pixar did do in this movie that does feel like it's a little darker for a kid's movie than some of the future ones.
Oh, yeah.
But you are absolutely correct there. Question number 2. Flick says one reason the ants need his invention to harvest grain is because they never have time to gather food for themselves after what?
After the grasshoppers come and get the offering from the offering stone.
The offering, yes, on the stone there. Yes, I like those hand motions to go.
Stone. It kind of is like the shape of the stone a little bit. It's propped up by like really shoddily arranged smaller stones, as we learn further in the movie.
We're going to talk about that too. That's coming up. I have some issues with that.
Same.
But moving on here to question number 3. Flick's grand plan to get rid of Hopper and the grasshoppers is to build what?
A giant mechanical bird kind of puppet thing.
A giant bird puppet.
Yeah.
Absolutely correct. And part 4 of this, a part that I always thought was kind of cool. What do the bugs use to make that outside of the fake bird?
Isn't it leaves?
Not fake leaves. What was that? The fake bird has real leaves. But the colors of the fall and stuff, like, I thought it looked really good. I was impressed by their design.
Yeah, I forgot that was even part of the plot, to be 100% honest, that I feel like there was a lot of things, like my brain remembered like the beginning and like little bits. I remembered the circus bugs being in there, and I remember
not what they did.
Yeah, I had no idea. I couldn't remember what they did. And then I remembered we got to the end, but like everything else I had forgotten about. But it was one of those experiences where as soon as it started, I was like, oh, I've seen this before. And like everything was like coming back to me. Because again, I probably watched this at least like 20 to 30 times as a child.
Right.
It was just like 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah. I felt the same way. A ton of this I didn't remember. Usually when I'm making trivia for movies like this, the easy round feels like questions that I could probably recall if I had not seen the movie for like 10 or 15 years. Like the stuff I think I remembered. The medium questions are more like what I still clearly remember after like seeing it recently. And then, the hard questions get a little specific. But the bird, I did remember the bird from, however long ago since the last time I watched this. And I remember thinking the leaves looked really good. And that's why this made it to the easy round, because that's something that always stuck with me.
It's definitely, after watching it, like obviously memorable. Like these, it's not a hard question to answer, but my brain just like, for some reason, I think there's just been too many movies between when I saw this movie originally and the current day. So, things have been just muddled between then and like when I was like 7. So
yeah. And that makes sense. That's okay.
Yeah.
Question number 5. Hopper tells the other grasshoppers that they need to go back to the ant colony, using pieces of grain to demonstrate how throwing one piece at a time doesn't hurt. But then he does what?
He opens the grain kind of chute and then lets them all... I don't know if he actually kills those 3 grasshoppers.
Right?
But like pretty much like attempts murder upon the people that told his brother to not go back to the ant colony because it would be silly.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Again, I didn't know whether he just killed those grasshoppers or not. And as far as villains go, I thought Hopper was a good one. Like, he's kind of a dark guy, Toy Story 2 I just finished watching, and, I guess the bad guy is the chicken guy, but also the prospector toy thing. Not very threatening, but, Hopper did look kind of mean.
Yeah, he definitely looks like the grasshoppers have it's definitely very intentional in their design, how like sharp they look and how like pointy their whole design is. Like if you look at the other characters, like the ants are very round and like kind of just like friendly looking in a way. Things are rounder. They're usually like, they appear to be more like soft, friendly, whatever. The grasshoppers have a very like distinctly like sharp and pointy design. Like even the shapes of their faces and like their mouths are just like extremely like just like pointy.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing about their designs for these first couple Pixar movies, I could not get over the fact that their teeth were one big mass. I don't know if you noticed that, like when they were talking.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that, but that's true though.
It threw me off. It's like they're wearing mouth guards the whole time. Like they don't have individual teeth. It's all one white chunk. And it made me super unsettled just like looking at them for a bit.
Mm-hmm. I will say I was impressed by the animation in these movies because I've seen other movies that are from this time frame and been like, oh, wow. Okay. Like this is like I don't know if you've ever played Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone video game, the one that has the Hagrid. Oh, you're going to have to look up Hagrid later. Look up Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone, Hagrid video game, and you'll get flat-faced like Hagrid. And it's just like, this is the peak and the epitome of the early 2000s, late 90s, like graphic design. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't remember. And like, this was also the era too, where the poster was way more detailed and like better looking by far than the actual like animation in the movie itself. Sure. Like you get a poster that kind of like the Avatar movies now. I haven't seen the newest one, but I've seen the second one. I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
The poster is a little bit more detailed than the movie, but the movie is still visually amazing and just stunning. Like mind blowing. I feel like there's not less of a gap between there than there is between like even this movie, like the poster and like the actual animation in the movie. Like you get this really nice poster and then you get this like animation that's like good for the time, but it's like the poster kind of sold something that's not actually in the movie. Like, it's close, but it's not really that.
The poster was Avatar. The movie was Minecraft.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. That's a very good comparison. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like promising Avatar, but serving Pong, you know? The graphics are a little bit different.
A little bit.
This one wasn't bad.
No, but
it wasn't terrible.
You can still super appreciate how far Pixar's come, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, they're, like, by far a million times better now. But as far as, like, being in the late 90s, like, that was pretty good.
Yeah, really good. Question number 6. Flea ruins the fake bird in the plan to scare away the grasshoppers when he does what?
He comes in looking for the circus bugs, right?
He does, and that ruins the circus bugs' identities, though. But how does he ruin the bird?
He ruins the bird. Oh, gosh. Why can't I remember this? He doesn't set this. Oh, he sets it on fire, doesn't he, at the end? On accident. Yeah. That was part of that big like action scene at the end. I was trying to remember because I remember it getting set on fire, but my brain was blanking on who set it on fire. It was
Flea. Was Flea, who plays with fire much more than he should.
Yeah, I don't know if fleas are technically like fire retardant, but I guess in this movie they are.
This one is, that's for sure.
I don't think they are, but
I don't think they are either.
I don't know.
He gets lit up a couple times.
Yeah.
Question number 7. Hopper meets his end when what happens?
See, this is the part that was like really dark, and we turned those babies into like the baby chicks into villains for a second there.
Yeah, sure.
Like it's a very open-ended death, but like he gets eaten by the babies in the bird's nest because the bird scoops them up and just serves them to its kids. And you're just like watching Hopper's like literally. I was just thinking in my head, I was like, that's like as a child, I would not have think about him like being torn limb by limb and dying a slow, painful death. But as an adult, I was thinking about the fact that there were 3 birds there, and they probably would all pull on different legs and arms, and then like, and then probably one of them would chomp off his head. I was thinking through more of the logistics this time as an adult.
Absolutely. Yeah, same. That was a pretty dark ending for Hopper there. But those open-ended deaths, I think Pixar does make a point of doing that almost all. You never actually
every movie
see it happen. I'm looking through my list of upcoming ones for Monsters, Inc. The boss gets handcuffed and taken away. Randall gets thrown through a door. Finding Nemo.
The mom at the beginning.
There was the mom, but I guess there really wasn't a villain too much in Finding Nemo.
No, Finding Nemo is more just like a search and like there kind of is a villain because like the sharks kind of there's a bunch of like minor villains in Finding Nemo. There's like some like antagonists that kind of make things harder for Marlin, but I guess like the biggest villain is Nemo forgetting things because that's kind of
Dory forgetting things.
Oh, Dory forgetting it. Nemo getting lost and like
Dory's the villain
and not when it comes. See, this could be a good argument. So I think when you do Finding Nemo, if you haven't yet, you have to come in with the attitude of that Dory is the villain and she is the true antagonist of this story. Because she is the one who's deterring Marlin the most from reaching Nemo. Besides Nemo's own, like, just like lack of awareness and sense of adventure, you know. I think Dory is the villain when it comes to Finding Nemo. I agree.
That's a hot take. I do see after that we do have The Incredibles, and that guy did get sucked into a jet engine. Although we don't see it, but I mean, we see him get sucked back, but. You know, we don't, we never, yeah.
Have you ever played the Incredibles video game?
Never, no.
Okay, so my brother had this video game when we were kids. And they're actually, in the video game, you end up fighting Kronos. Is that his name?
That's like his
guy
like code name or something. I think it's like Sinestro or something?
Yeah, you end up fighting him. He's not dead. You end up fighting him, and then you end up fighting the mole guy at the end.
Oh, cool.
So, like, it's not the storyline of The Incredibles, but they kind of, like, circumvent the deaths that happen, and you end up fighting these villains anyway.
Okay.
It's very odd.
Okay, all right.
I don't recommend, honestly, but If you're looking for something weird to review, there you go.
I appreciate that. And question number 8 here. Which member of the circus almost gets left behind when they fly away at the end, and for what reason?
It's our caterpillar friend, because he can't. He's blooming into a butterfly, and he can't actually fly because his body's like this big, and his wings are like a tenth of his weight, and so he can't actually fly.
I'm giving you 2 for that. At the end of round 1, you are 9 for 8 right now.
Nice.
I have 7 medium questions next here, starting with question number 9. One ant in the line carrying food in the beginning panics and screams he's lost when he gets disconnected from the line when what happens? Question number 10. Flick tries to comfort a young Dot in the beginning when she feels downtrodden at being too small to do anything. He tells her she's just a seed and that one day she'll become a what? And part 2 of that, why can't Dot wrap her head around the metaphor Flick is using, comparing her to a seed? Question number 11. Flick ruins the offering the ants prepared for the grasshoppers in the beginning when what happens? Question number 12. We see 2 flies at the trailer, but one dies after his friend desperately tells him not to do what? Question number 13. At the welcome party for the circus bugs, what did the 2nd grade class make for them? Question number 14. After releasing the fake bird, some of the bugs start improvising and doing what to scare the grasshoppers further? And question number 15. The ants make their own versions of fireworks at the end by doing what? Going back to question number 9. One ant in the line carrying food in the beginning panics and screams he's lost when he gets disconnected from the line when what happens?
A leaf falls in the middle, and they don't know what to do. I will say the voice actor who played the guy who, I don't know who it was, who directs them around the leaf, I really liked him. I thought he was great. I thought it was a very funny scene, to be honest, and I really enjoyed that. I
got a kick out of it, but I don't remember that guy specifically standing out for me. I mean, I wonder if he's famous.
There were a lot of, so I did a brief, just look through on the casting list, and I'm not the best when it comes to actors in any capacity.
Sure.
But I was surprised by how many big names were part of, names that I recognize. Julie Louise-Dreyfus played Ada. And
yeah, right.
There's
I didn't know
and
that.
Then there were a lot of people in there I consider Pixar voices who have played any Pixar movie that you watch, you just you recognize I don't know what their name is, but they keep showing up. The guy who, I think it was the guy who played the Flea, he's been in 90% of the he's played some character in 90% of the Pixar movies, or maybe 100% at this point, to be 100% honest.
And the Beetle too, his voice is in a ton of them I saw.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this movie who either were big names or kind of went on to become Pixar staples in the Pixar zeitgeist. So, and as someone now who is it's been time since that happened and Pixar has developed and we've watched a lot of Pixar movies, I was oh yeah, I know that voice and that, but I don't know who they are, but I recognize their voices because they've been in so many other movies.
Yeah, that's the pig. And yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Question number 10. Flick tries to comfort a young Dot in the beginning when she feels downtrodden at being too small to do anything. He tells her she's just a seed and that one day she'll become what?
Isn't it a flower? It's some kind of plant.
It is a plant. It's much bigger than a flower, though.
Oh, a tree.
A tree is correct. There was a part 2 of that, though. Why can't Dot wrap her head around the metaphor Flick is using, comparing her to a seed?
Because he's holding a rock, and she doesn't understand why he's holding a rock and not a seed.
Pretend this rock is a seed, but it's a rock. And it's just exactly what I would imagine a kid doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked Dot as a character. I thought she was cute. There's a famous actress who played, it's not Hayden, is it Hayden Panettiere?
It is Hayden, yeah.
Okay. I was watching some quick trivia on this morning and learned a few things. One of which I will share, because you asked another question that you're going to ask another question that I learned a little bit of trivia about this morning.
Okay.
But I was oh, okay. There was someone else who was Ashley Tisdale, I guess, was in the running to play Dot as well, too. So people who went on to have bigger careers at Disney, which is very interesting that this seems to be a starting point for a lot of things.
Sure.
This movie specifically.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. I don't know much about Hayden
I don't really know either.
But she was in Malcolm in the Middle. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
And that's what I know her from now, Malcolm in the Middle.
There you go. And that's how she will always be in your brain forever and ever and ever.
Yep. Question number 11. Flick ruins the offering the ants prepared for the grasshoppers in the beginning when what happens?
He lets his little contraption keep whatever that motor is that's going on it keeps going.
Whatever
and it knocks over the shoddy pile of rocks that the offering stone is, which my question to that is, how does that knock it over, but all the ants walking up over it continuously all day long, how does that not even make it shake at all? Why wouldn't you just put it on the ground?
Yeah, I did want to talk about this. Just poor design in general. I mean, right on the edge of a cliff, number one. Yeah. And why?
With water down below. It'd be different if there was it was on the edge of a cliff and there was just a surface there. So if it fell, you could still go back down and get it. But if it's in a pond or something, whatever that was, or puddle, probably a puddle.
You're still out of luck. It was just it was an accident waiting to happen. That was, I think Flick helped future generations by no, the grasshoppers aren't coming back anymore. But also, if they needed to, there were some adjustments that could be made.
How did the grasshoppers eat off of that thing without knocking it over? Because they're bigger than the ants, and they didn't seem like they were very light on their feet. They seem to be pretty just boom, 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 boom. That seems to be the body weight that we're working with there.
Boy,
so how did they, and there are a lot of them, how did they all eat off that and not have all the food go flying anyway?
I guess I always pictured them taking the food back with them, but I never actually,
Maybe.
I guess that probably, the physics of it probably wouldn't work.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. Whoever thought through that design was thinking through it as a plot point and not as an actual design project,
Yeah. Question number 12. We see two flies at the trailer, but one dies after his friend desperately tells him not to do what?
Go towards the light where the fly zapper is. And this is the other thing that I have. So I guess the people who played the two flies are the directors of this movie.
Really?
Yeah. They were saying,
that's really cool.
That the two directors just did that small little bit of voice acting. And each played one of the flies in that scene.
I love that scene. I got a kick out of it, but I did not know it was the directors. Juliana, you did a lot more homework than you had to for this movie.
I literally watched the movie and watched 5 minutes of just people doing trivia this morning while I was just getting ready. So it was not a big commitment, but it seems to have paid off at least a little bit.
I'm learning a lot and I'm loving it. So I appreciate that. Question number 13. At the welcome party for the circus bugs, what did the second grade class make for them?
There's a play and there's also a leaf mural of the caterpillar dying and them defeating the grasshoppers in a very gory representation. That
the second grader's picture did get a little graphic. I'm giving you a second point for the caterpillar dying. I loved that. I got a kick out of it, and how the teacher said it would make it more the teacher was encouraging this, it would be more realistic this way.
Yeah, the one of you had to die, so make this fight more realistic. It's It's just the whole thing, that whole scene is very funny of them just coming out being we are the grasshoppers, and then just watching the second graders theatrically murder each other.
Yeah.
In their special rendition of the future of the fight that they're going to have.
Everybody died.
There's not a single person alive, and then they all just pop back up and they bow and they're okay. It's
a little more about that here. Question number 14. After releasing the fake bird, some of the bugs start improvising and doing what to scare the grasshoppers further?
Oh, this is the one where you read it and I couldn't remember what it was. I think I was just distracted while I was watching this part of the movie. I'm going to guess. Were they throwing things at them maybe? Because I know the rain came after that. We had the bird and then we had the bird get set on fire and then that kind of crashes. And then...
So this is before the bird crash, before the rain.
They put on a circus show for the grasshoppers. So that way they don't see the ants walking up to the bird.
I guess this is during the bird attack, the fake bird attack.
Oh, okay. I don't know then.
It's something the ants do to themselves to make the grasshoppers totally lose it.
I must have looked away at this point for some reason. I mean, I have ADHD, so the fact that I'm remembering this much is pretty great. I thought I was going to fail like 90% of this, so like I'm doing a really great job for myself. The fact that I don't know one question out of all of these is pretty good. So I'm going to say I don't know, and you're going to have to tell me what the answer is.
This is where they started faking injuries using berries as blood. They started breaking berries on themselves, and the grasshoppers thought that I guess they were just being torn apart or something, like, and just making it look a lot worse than it was to make the grasshoppers freak out.
Okay. So now I'm remembering, because I watched, one of the things I did watch this morning too, because this was another fun little trivia fact, I guess, the first Pixar movie where they ever did like intentional bloopers at the end. So they like animated bloopers for this like movie. And there was a whole blooper scene around these grapes. Now I'm remembering it.
I remember it now. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the stick gets the grape stuck in its eye and it has to like run away. But the bloopers are very funny. I enjoyed them a lot.
They were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And question number 15 here. The ants make their own versions of fireworks at the end by doing what?
They shoot off like stalks of grass or something that like hit each other in the air and turn into fireworks, essentially, because they're kind of smashing into each other and breaking into a million pieces.
Very creative and absolutely correct. You are ending the medium round with a 17 out of 15 right now.
Okay, I'm still ahead. I got one wrong, but I'm still ahead. Okay, great.
Crushing it, and I have 5 hard questions left.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Starting with question number 16. Hopper says the ants need to gather food for the grasshoppers because if they don't, he can't guarantee what? Question number 17. The council shoots down Flick's idea to leave the island and go get help. For what reason? And part 2 of that. Why then does the council vote in favor of Flick's idea to let him search for help and bigger bugs? Question number 18. Slim, the stick figure, complains to Flea that if he goes out there, people are just going to laugh at him. And Flea replies, that's because why? There is a part 2 of that. Slim says that's not the reason, but it's because he's what? Question number 19. Once Flick gets to the bug city, he sees one sad-looking bug on the side of the road with a sign that says what? And question number 20. The circus bugs are able to distract Flea at the end so they can help the ants when the ladybug says, look, what? And part 2 of that. After tying up Flea, Flea begs the lightning bugs to let him go, and he promises he'll do what?
Oh, this one's going to be a lot harder.
Going back to question number 16. Hopper says the ants need to gather food for the grasshoppers because if they don't, he can't guarantee what?
Their safety against like all the other things that are out there.
This was just a regular mob movie.
Yeah.
This was like, I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Like, why don't you pay me for the insurance? You know, this is the mob guys going to all the small stores.
For a favor.
I was like, geez, this is just a regular gangster movie here. Question number 17. The council shoots down Flick's idea to leave the island and go get help at first. For what reason? Why do they think it's a bad idea to leave the island?
I think they're just like scared. I can't. These are the first one was the only one I think I know.
Okay.
The rest of them I'm gonna kind of be guessing, but I think they're just like scared of the unknown in general. So I'm just gonna say they're like scared of what's out there, and they like the grasshoppers have just kind of put this fear of God in their souls, and so anything that's like out there, they're scared of, like animals and stuff.
Sure. Okay. Animals and stuff. Yeah. They basically say he's going to like die, I guess, if he goes up there. Yeah. They say it's like suicide, that you're right. They're scared. But part 2 of that. Why then does the council vote in favor of Flick's idea to let him search for help and bigger bugs? Why do they let him leave?
I think it's because they don't care if he dies, really, and they're kind of desperate.
That's so much darker.
My guess is they don't care if they sacrifice him, and also like it's their last hope, essentially, aside from gathering all the food again for a second time if they can themselves.
I am looking for something a little less dark than they don't mind if he dies. This is more in reference to Flick and his inventions, Flick doing the thing with messing up the gathering, the offering. Is that ringing any bells?
Well, he is the one he was responsible for screwing up the offering. Mm-hmm. So he owes them a favor, maybe? Like he's the one who needs to right his own wrongs?
It means that he can't mess anything else up if he's gone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. I'll take that one as an L.
But also they don't mind if he dies is another way of looking at that too. So not wrong, but they didn't.
Not the exact answer you were looking for, but like not fully incorrect.
It's not the reason they gave in the movie, which I guess is what I was looking for. Question number 18 here. At the circus, we meet Slim, the stick figure, and he complains to Flea that if he goes out there in front of everybody, people are just going to laugh at him. And Flea replies, that's because why?
Because you're a stick?
More kind of like a role you would associate with the circus that you're supposed to laugh at.
Oh, because you're a clown.
Because you're a clown. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They have that whole conversation about like, oh, we're circus people. Oh, you're a clown. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But there was a part 2 of that. Slim says that's not the reason people laugh at him. It's because they just use him as what?
A prop.
A prop is correct. Awesome. Question number 19. Once Flick gets to the Bug City, he sees one sad-looking bug on the side of the road with a sign that says what?
Oh, this one I have no idea. Will work for grain.
Boy, this is a hard one to give a hint for. Maybe, boy, I mean, I saw this sign and I'm like, I probably did this as a kid.
Free lemonade, 5 cents.
No, this is much. He's not an entrepreneurial bug here. He's looking for handouts because he's in a sad state after a kid did something to him. What you might do maybe if you caught, yikes, as a child, not now, like a fly or a butterfly or something.
Trapped?
This is a terrible hint. Kid pulled my wings off.
Oh, he pulled my wings off. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Is
That's
what
so
the sign said. Boy, which, I mean, when I think about it, I probably did as a kid, and now it's making me feel guilty.
I definitely was the person, like, when I was a real little kid, like, before I developed a fear for spiders, like, I would pull Daddy Longlegs' legs off. But this was just like a standard protocol and procedure for Girl Scout camp, you know. Not that you should be doing that, but, like, it was just kind of a thing that we all did. We would find some Daddy Longlegs and we'd just, like, pull their legs off and just watch their little bodies whirl around, which is not cool, but, you know, as a 6-year-old, you don't really understand. Yeah.
I wouldn't do it now, but
no,
I did it as a kid.
Oh, definitely. Boy. 100%.
And that takes us to question number 20 here. The circus bugs are able to distract Flea at the end so they can help the ants when the ladybug says, look, what? The only thing Flea cares about.
The only thing, money.
Money is correct. Yeah. Look, money. And there was a part 2 of that. After tying up Flea begs the lightning bugs to let him go, and he promises he'll do what?
Finally pay them.
Yeah, absolutely right. He'll think about paying them, which was a line I just loved. I just finished recording trivia for Monsters, Inc., and one of the things Mike said, he was captured by Randall's assistant, so the other bad guy, and he's like, hey, let me go. I just got a new car, and if you let me go, I'll give you a ride in my car. And I'm like, come on, like these are just such meaningless gestures.
Yeah, like things that are not going to work as leverage. Yeah, it's like, I don't think so, my friend.
But at the end of trivia, you are 23 for 20. Congratulations, Juliana.
I did a million times better on this than I thought I was going to. I was like, I'm probably going to get like 5 right, like if I'm lucky, because I'm usually not good at trivia, but like for some reason my brain has retained a few things between yesterday and today. So like, that's a good thing. We like it. I think because largely I feel like your trivia questions were like very good about being about the plot. I feel like a lot of the times when I do trivia questions or like I go out for trivia with my friends, it's like about specific like names and dates. It's not like about like the concept of what happened. It's about like, what year did this happen in? And you're like, I don't know.
You know what? I might have done that a little bit at the beginning, but I find they're just like the most boring type of trivia questions to ask. Yeah. Yes, they're difficult, but they're not fun. It's not fun to like say, oh, that's what his name was. You know, like it's the moments around the things that happen that are more entertaining and fun to talk about.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely spark more conversation points, and they definitely are just, you have to think a little bit bigger picture. I feel like if you're thinking like traditional trivia wise, like with the names and the dates and things, you're not really thinking about the movie as a whole. You're not really able to enjoy it. You're just kind of thinking about like memorizing things. Whereas if you're like, oh yeah, I'm watching this and we're going to be questions about like the plot on the whole, then you can kind of just enjoy the movie and just watch it, which I feel like is the better case, in my opinion, personally.
I enjoy it. But Juliana, you did kill it here today. Thank you so much for being here. Would you like to plug your stuff?
Yeah, if people would like to get more of my dulcet tones, if you couldn't get enough of my voice, you can find me over on Into the Fold podcast, which is about the Grishaverse. If you've seen Shadow and Bone, the Netflix show, we are talking about the books that are related to that. Or if you are a runner and you would like to be part of your favorite new local running community, you can join me over on Runnah, Runnah, because that's how you say it in Massachusetts. We do not say ours here. Thank you so much for asking. So you can find me on any of one of those 2 platforms. And I'm sure everything else to find me will be linked in the episode description. So go ahead and head down there.
Yes, all that stuff will be in the show notes. So please check Juliana out there. Head on over to iTunes to drop a rating and tell someone you know about the show. It would really mean a lot. Lastly, if you have questions of your own or answers to any of mine, feel free to email me at tvtriviapod@gmail.com or reach out on the socials at tvtriviapod. Juliana, thank you so much for being here, for making your debut on the show. I hope you'll, come back and do it again.
Yeah, I have to retain my winning streak,
1 for 1's pretty good, especially for thinking it was not going to go that good.
Yeah, again, I'm not usually good at trivia, so I'm very impressed with my ability to get over 50%. So that's pretty great.
It's important to set a bar low so you can it makes it so much more impressive when it feels much better when you excel.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I far exceeded my expectations big time. So I'm very happy with that.
Listeners, thank you, and stay tuned for more trivia.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Runnah. This podcast is edited, hosted, and produced by me, Juliana Coughlin. Brought to you in part by the Falmouth Running Club and the Falmouth Community TV station. If you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on Instagram and on TikTok at RunnahPod. And you can send us an email at runnahpod@gmail.com. And our original theme music was brought to you by the one and the only wonderful Jeffrey Hutton. And keep up the great work. I'm proud of you.